Hi everyone, welcome to week 2. Week 2 is going to be a little bit basic of economics still until we get into the bulk of what we're looking at with microeconomics. In week 2 we're going to be reading chapters 3 and 4, which deals with supply and demand and analysis. You'll notice that supply and demand is probably the most important technique that you can learn in economics because it deals with a lot of factors that determine the level of prices. Supply and demand is considered just a basic economic concept as well as a vital part of a free market economy. Supply is the amount of something, such as a product or service, that a market has available. Demand is the amount of the product or service that buyers want to purchase. The relationship between supply and demand has a good deal of influence on the price of goods and services. Now, understanding the law of demand is an important part of deciphering the relationship between supply and demand. According to the law of demand, you're going to notice it's an inverse relationship between the price and demand. Essentially, higher prices translate into less demand for a product or service. When the price of an item or service is high, an individual must consider that buying that item may prevent him from being able to afford the purchase of another more valuable item. As such, the opportunity cost of that item is too high and demand for it may be very low. On the other hand, the law of supply is also vital to the understanding between supply and demand. According to the law of supply, high quantities of a product or service are supplied at a high price. Those who produce goods and offer services are willing to supply more at higher prices because they'll be able to earn more profits. To understand this economic relationship, consider a unique gift item that's priced at 99 cents. The company that makes the gift item had analyzed past sales and determines that demand for this particular item will be too low if priced higher than 99 cents. The company decides to produce just 100 gift items because its analysis predicts that the opportunity cost is too high to provide for high demand. However, if 200 people demand that gift item, the price will rise along with the demand. Since higher prices lead to increased supply, more of the gift item will be produced and offered. The supply and demand relationships affect price in a different manner when a company has produced too much of the item, which is called a surplus. For example, if the gift company increases production to create 500 gift items, but the demand stays at, let's say, 200. That means the supply is greater than demand and too much is available. Prices won't rise. By contrast, the company might actually lower the price in an attempt to attract consumers who consider the gift item attractive, but the opportunity cost may be too high. What you look at with supply and demand is you hope for a balance. And there's many factors you'll learn that influence the supply and demand in our economy. And those influences will have a greater impact on the direction of our economy. So for this week, you're going to be focusing on the discussion question and quiz number 2. With the discussion question, make sure not to attach any documents. That's key. A lot of people are attaching documents, a Word document. Don't attach a document. Other thing that's going to be important to know is you need to make sure to have all of your work completed by Sunday at 11:55, as no work's accepted late. And we use the timestamp in the course, not your clock, for all that we evaluate. In the discussion board, initial posts due by Wednesday, 2 peer responses, which can be to any peers or my questions, that's due by Sunday. If you'd like me to pre-grade or evaluate your work, just let me know. I look forward to your effort this week.